The PESHAT project is centered around lemata, philosophical and scientific terms of medieval Hebrew literature. The purpose of the PESHAT database is to provide an online, searchable thesaurus of thousands of terms from the medieval scientific tradition within its historical context. So for convenience, the Edit Lemma main module is situated at the top of the main modules. In this video, we will demonstrate the main workflow for adding a lemma, a definition, and a quotation to the database's files. As with the other modules, the editor searches for or selects entries directly via a search option, activates an existing entry, or creates a new one. In our example, we will input the lemma av with the definition cloud, a visible mass of condensed vapor, found while working on the text of Samuel ibn Tibbon's translation of the Arabic text of Aristotle's Meteorology, entitled Otot HaShamayim. Since the lemma is not already in the database, we will fill out all the fields of the Edit Lemma main module with general information for this lemma. This page contains basic details for the lemma such as standard vocalized spelling and alternative spellings, and grammatical information like root, word class, gender, and verb stem, if applicable. After identifying a lemma in a philosophical text, we can check whether one of the given definitions fits the word's meaning in that concrete context. In our case, we have to introduce a new definition, since the lemma is a new one. In that case, the New button will lead us to the submodule Definition Details. It contains fields for both a modern Hebrew and an English definition of the term. An application linked to the field Equivalence enables us to input terms in other languages. For example, the original Greek term, nephos, and two terms that are used in the Arabic text, sahaba and ramama, would be included here. We now show the filled page. To input and connect quotations to this definition, we will use the New button behind the quotation field. We are then directed to the next submodule, which is named Quotation Details. It provides a number of fields which are necessary to give an exact reference for the text quoted. The bibliographical data shows two fields at the top, source and title of work. In PESHAT, we distinguish between the historical event of a philosophical treatise's compilation or translation on the one hand, and the extant material sources from which we can quote on the other, manuscripts, traditional printings, and modern editions. In our case, the title is Samuel ibn Tibbon's translation of Aristotle's Meteorology, finished in 1210 from an Arabic translation. The source attached to this title, from which we will quote, is the critical modern edition of the text provided by Rezian Fontaine and published by Brill in Leiden, 1995. Both title and source, which we choose from a drop-down list, have been previously inputted into the database through the Titles and Primary Sources editor functions. So we began with the main module Edit Lemma. We're directed to the submodule Definitions and to the submodule Quotations. Now, the Quotation Details submodule offers the option to connect a quotation to related quotations, such as translations or the original text. In our case, we will input the Arabic source text. With a click on the New button behind Related Quotations Original, we are directed to a new blank page of the quotation's details and can input bibliographical data for the Arabic equivalent quotation in the same way as for the Hebrew. The information given in the field Related Quotation Translation shows that this quotation is already linked to the Hebrew one. database's structure is highly integrated, enabling the editor to arrive easily and logically at the modules needed for editing and arranging data. With the Save and Go Back buttons, we can save the changes in a certain module and return to the previous one. When we reach the level of the Definitions Details submodule, we can see that the new quotation has been successfully attached to the definition of the lemma av. We finish our current process with the same steps as before, and again confirm the changes. The whole process is finished at the lemma details screen, where we started, by clicking on Save.